Good morning, guys. Josh here from the Hampshire Business Show, which is taking place on Thursday, the 14th of October at the B.A.S Stadium in Southampton. I'm joined by Duane Walker today, who's the Managing Director of Primmer B.A.S. Primmer B.A.S are a full-service property support provider. They look after residential, commercial, anything from chartered surveying, architecture, project management, and beyond, which I'm sure Duane's going to tell us all about in a second. So Duane, thank you so much for coming. Appreciate it.
Good morning. No, thanks for having me on.
Great to see you. So, Duane, like you guys, do a lot, right? You support businesses. Every time I'm driving through Southampton, when I look up, there's Primmer, there's your boards everywhere. So can you explain to people watching this video, what you guys do and kind of all your focus areas? If that's all right.
Yeah, it could take a while. We do quite a few different things across the business. I suppose one of the things we're most known for is the boards, because that's what you see. That's the presence that's out there. So that's what we call our commercial estate agency arm, transactional side. So the selling, the letting and acquiring of commercial premises, whether it's retail, industrial, office premises, variety of different types of property. But we've also got what we call our professional services side. So that is where we carry out valuations for banks, for buyers, lease negotiations, landlord and tenant work, where we're sort of helping with rent reviews and things like that. Part of that sort of group is also our property management side. So we look after a lot of property assets for investors, where we look after the day-to-day management, rent collection, service charges, things like that. And then another big part of our business is our building consultancy side, which is anything from right at the beginning, where we've got our chartered architect, through project managing builds, through our project management team, as well as chartered building surveyors that look after the assets, dilapidations, building surveys, defect analysis. So yeah, quite
a lot going on. But it's interesting because we've spoken before and we've said how it's almost like a 360 service, right? So no matter where you are in that property journey, it's you can help. Is that fair to say?
Yeah. We, our vision as a company is around creating, adding and maintaining value in our clients' property assets through the services that we provide. And that's right, as you say, if you started and sort of said, right, from looking at a bare piece of land where we acquire land for developers and we do architecture, all the way through designing it, letting what the completed building and then managing it, it takes you all the way through that 360-degree cycle until it gets regenerated and redeveloped again or repurposed at some point.
That's brilliant. And Duane, I think what I'd like to touch on as well is more about the history of you individually. So do you want to tell us kind of like how you got up to this point, right? Because I remember you telling me kind of fresh at university, did you start at, Primmer quite young, right?
So I suppose I was studying a real estate valuation degree in Southampton. I worked in residential estate agency at the same time, just at weekends, holidays, to gain experience in the property market, and get a feel for things. Bob Primmer and David Olds gave me my first sort of shot at commercial property, and I worked one day a week while I was studying for them. I got paid in burgers and beer and wine back in the old days, which was quite good when you're a student. And then they offered me a job when I left uni back in '98. And basically, been with the company ever since. Expanded, qualified as a chartered surveyor in 2000. And then, progressed up to partner with them. And then eventually partners have retired over the years. We've merged with a couple of other businesses to where I am today, really here still, but doing the same sort of thing, same sort of clients, but, hopefully on a slightly more expanded basis and doing it better than we've ever done, really.
So it's interesting because you must have seen such a shift across, all those types of properties that you work with in terms of retail, high street, commercial property.
Certainly in the city centre of Southampton, when you look back to when I first came to the city and, Guildhall Square wasn't there. The old John Lewis store back then, you didn't have any of that. West Quay development wasn't there.
What was there?
The whole retail park down the bottom of West Quay. West Quay was just a big wave of land. You know, it was the old, I think it was the old Pirelli cable factory, and
Wow.
it was just big open space back then. And you know, the Marlin shopping centre, which is being redeveloped now, which is now the Bargate Quarter. You know, IKEA wasn't there. You know, some big iconic sort of buildings in the city now. Just it's
so
different.
I think, I bet. Now, I think one thing that's really important to know for our visitors is Primmer's B.A.S, or the official commercial property partner of the Hampshire Business Show. And as part of that partnership, Duane's going to be delivering a seminar talk in the main expo hall. So, Duane, can you just give our visitors, I mean, look, I know it's 6 months away, so can you give us like a little feel in terms of, I suppose, what our visitors can expect to hear from your talk?
Yeah, I think, you know, from our conversations and knowing the focus of the show is around businesses, and you've got a real mixture of businesses, and we're trying to add value to those. Landlords and investors are a big part of our business, but so are occupational businesses, as we call them, whether they own the premises or whether they lease them. You know, most business owners move property, move locations only 1 or 2 times, you know, in their whole career, perhaps. Whereas a landlord does that every single day of the week. You know, they lease premises, they look after property. So what we're trying to do as part of the talk will be around focusing on the occupier, focusing on things you should be aware of if you're taking a lease, if you're buying a property, considering the options of those, some of the pitfalls, you know, day-to-day occupation, stuff like that, really.
No, that's awesome. And Duane, obviously, you're going to be there on the day. Guys, you can catch the team at the show. They'll also be exhibiting as well. They'll be there on hand to answer any questions you have. Once again, they're the official commercial property partner of the Hampshire Business Show in 2021. Guys, look, if you've not registered for your free ticket yet, head straight over to hampshirebusinessshow.com. Get the date in your diary. There's some brilliant speakers on the day, including Duane, who honestly, the information that Duane can give. So me and Duane have meetings quite often, and I'd like to pick his brains at the end for 10 minutes if he doesn't mind most times. And there's quite valuable nuggets of information there. So guys, Thursday 14th, got the date in your diary. Duane, thank you so much for your time. Really appreciate it.
You're welcome. No, thanks for having me on. It's been good.
Awesome. We'll see you in October. Thanks, guys.